Hey guys, welcome to another episode of 15 Things You Didn't Know About Skyrim, where we go over facts, lore, and secrets about different things in the game. The last video was 15 random things you didn't know about Skyrim in general, where we went over 15 random things that didn't really fit into a specific category. This video, however, is slightly different. It has 15 things you didn't know about the dragons of Skyrim, but still includes a mix of facts, secrets, and lore. To start us off, we are going to go over what the dragons actually are in the game. Dragons are a reptilian race indigenous to Akavir, Tamriel's cousin to the east, and were once also widespread throughout Tamriel. Although seeming rather beast-like, they are profoundly intelligent, capable of speech, written language, and comprehending other languages. They were virtually extinct until the 4th Era 201, until they resurfaced in Skyrim with the return of Alduin. In the game, you are tasked with exploring Skyrim and stopping the dragons. To help you better understand what you are up against, here are 15 things you might not know already in relation to dragons in Skyrim. Dragons can only land on the ground if there is enough flat open space. If a dragon refuses to land on the ground, consider moving somewhere else more open. The dragon can also land on most buildings. When a dragon is low on health, they may descend and crash into the ground as well, leaving a large trench behind. In places where dragons are scripted to appear, such as dragon lairs, they can be found either perched on a cliff edge, word wall, or sometimes even lying on the ground. Dragons can appear inside a walled city and attack various NPCs. If a quest giver is killed, their quest may become unavailable. When a dragon is killed and NPCs are nearby, they will rush over to gawk at the corpse and the fact that the player has absorbed the dragon soul, although you probably already know that. The dragon Alduin is one of the main antagonists in Skyrim. It's believed by some that the dragon's character is inspired or a reference to another dragon called Neath Hawker in Norse mythology. Neath Hawker was a dragon in Niflheim near Hell. He did almost nothing but feast on the dead, biting the roots of the tree Yggdrasil and killing for his own amusement. Neath Hawker was a symbol of death and destruction, much like Alduin is in Skyrim. Dragons have their own ancient language called Dovazul. Sometimes dragons use them, but you most likely know them as Thu'um, or dragon shouts. However, while there are 20 shouts and so 60 different words you might hear while using shouts, in fact, the dragon language contains a vocabulary of over 640 words so far, making it possible to use Dovazul as an actual language. If the Dragonborn is not near a dragon when it dies, he or she may not be able to absorb the soul. However, they can come back days later in the game to absorb the dead dragon's soul. Also, assuming that the dead dragon's soul has yet to be absorbed, the body will remain unburnt, but once you get close enough, the soul will be absorbed, burning the dragon's body. While the dragon's corpse is burning, the effect can also be seen from the world map, as the world map is actually in real time. In the Dragonborn DLC, Miraak can steal dragon souls and prevent you from absorbing them. When in the Oblivion Plane Apocrypha during the Dragonborn DLC, you can't absorb dragon souls. However, Miraak still can. According to some lore, dragons didn't arrive in Skyrim by choice. They were driven out of their homeland Akavir by another indigenous race called the Sesi, a vampiric serpent-like race that attempted to enslave the dragons as well as use them for food, and they did manage to succeed in enslaving red dragons. But the black dragons managed to flee, and these are the ones you eventually see in Skyrim. Giants and mammoths have some of the strongest souls in game to capture. However, you would think dragons would in fact have the strongest soul, and while that is true, dragons cannot be soul trapped for obvious reasons. The soul of a dragon is too powerful, and so weapons like the Mace of Molag Bal don't gather the soul from the dead dragon. Speaking of dragon souls, did you know that after you return the Horn of Jurgen Windcaller to Arngeir to complete the Horn of Jurgen Windcaller quest, you can return to Ustengrav and receive a free dragon soul by activating Jurgen's tomb. As the Dragonborn continues with the main quest, dragon attacks tend to happen more often in-game. By ignoring the first dragon encounter after leaving Helgen, it is actually possible to play through a vast portion of Skyrim without bringing the dragons back to life. This can be particularly useful as random dragon encounters can kill quest-giving NPCs and otherwise disrupt missions the player might be undertaking. There is a named dragon in the game that is not very well known that you can fight whenever you're in Blackreach. However, he's a little difficult to stumble across. Whenever you're in Blackreach, if you enter the middle building, there is a large yellow orb above the debate hall and the Hall of Rumination. What a lot of people don't realise is that if you use the shout Unrelenting Force on the orb will ring and echo throughout the caverns and summon the dragon Volthurial, who if you do not engage in combat will just stay on the ground inside of Blackreach. If you ever go to Dragon's Reach in Whiterun, which all of us have, take a look above the Jarl's throne. You may have noticed a dragon's skull above it. This skull is not decorative though, and actually has an interesting story behind it. Now, like many fables in Skyrim, there are often many interpretations, but according to the book Olaf and the Dragon, it says, the skull belonged to the dragon Numinex, an ancient dragon who lived during the First Age. He was feared throughout Skyrim after raining terror and destruction upon the towns and villages, laying them to waste. Numinex was eventually defeated by the Dragonborn King Olaf, who shouted Numinex into submission. However, he did not slay the dragon. King Olaf kept the dragon in captivity as a personal pet in what is now called Dragon's Reach, which was built to house the humiliated beast. After his death, his skull was taken and placed above the throne. Talking with Paarthurnax will reveal that dragons do not age. Physically or mentally, they don't get any older. In fact, they are incapable of dying of old age. Skyrim has many different types of dragon. In fact, there are 14 different variants of regular dragons that can be encountered in the game, including the Dragonborn and Dawnguard DLCs. They include 14 generic dragons: regular, blood, frost, elder, ancient, revered, legendary, and serpentine. Each has a frost and fire version, except the frost dragon has no fire variant, and the revered dragon has no frost variant, making 14 different dragons in total that you might encounter in the world. There are 17 unique named dragons in Skyrim, either that you encounter or hear about in lore. They are Durnavir, Crosula, Cruzikrell, Murmilnir, Nazlarim and his twin Voslarim, Nahagliv, Odaving, Relonikiv, Saloknir, Sarotar, Vinturuth, Volyotnak, and Volthurial, not to mention of course Numinex, who we spoke about earlier, and Paarthurnax, and finally Alduin. Each of the dragons' names also means something in their dragon language, Dovazul. For example, Alduin, Al means destroyer, Du means devour, and Een means master, so Alduin translates into destroyer, devour, master. Or at least a synonym of those. Well guys, there we have it, 15 facts about dragons that you hopefully didn't already know, or at least hopefully you didn't already know all of them. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment and subscribe. If you happen to have any interesting Skyrim facts for yourself, just send me a message on YouTube or Twitter, and I might add it to future videos. As always, enjoy the rest of your day guys, and I will see you all next time for more Skyrim Special Edition.